All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, the honors to apostles and elders in New York, GMS, and salutation to you, Akim. That's putting their lives on the lines for teaching the truth. All right, my name is Maya Ka'ala, Bungad with Chicago branch of Great Millstone. Like I made the disclaimer that we are not black Hebrew Israelites or black Jews. Black is a color, not a nationality. Nobody is the color of a tar on this earth. Nobody is the color of a cotton. You know, say no such things as black or white people. All right, so-called Europeans, or what people say are white, are the Edomites. Okay, and the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the speckled birds are the Israelites. The speckled birds are Israelites who look like other nations, but their fathers or paternal bloodline goes back to the 12 patriarchs of Israel. All right, a good example of speckled bird is Blake Griffin's son, the NBA basketball player. All right, so right here, the guest on Garfield's show. You know, Garfield really thinks he's a scholar and everything. He got a book coming, and he claims he's debunking us, and he's clobbering us and everything, man, which he's not, man. All right, Garfield basically is just like a kid, a little kid that try to cut a slice of cake. The kid, he's not coordinated. His hands not coordinated. He don't have enough strength to hold his knife in a certain way. So he try to cut the cake. He just mess up the cake, cut all sideways and everything. The cake crumbling when he try to bring the slice out of the cake, man. The adults get mad. I mean, like, who the hell cut the cake? So this is what Garfield doing in the scriptures, man. He just butchering it. He's not expert, man. He's trying to come from the worldly side, and he tried to use basically Esau pseudo science to get to understand the scriptures, man. Now, science means to know. All right. So yes, we Israelites, we do use science or knowledge. All right, but that knowledge of understanding had to come from Yahweh. All right, you have to put that Holy Spirit on you to receive this knowledge, man. That's what he's trying to do. So, we waiting on a Garfield book, and we on this site. Basically, we're gonna dissect that book, debunk everything he says up in there, man. All right, so we waiting on that, but for now, I'm just gonna play you clips of everything. This guy and this guest trying to play. So this is Kyle. All right, now he say he's a Hebrew Israelite, but Kyle's one of Garfield guests on this video. 12 tribe chart are the Hebrew Israelite Africans. Jeremiah Judah versus Polite versus Pastor Bennett recap. Jeremiah Judah, man, one Israelite, but his understanding is weak. He don't understand certain things. You don't understand the certain things, the 12 tribes. He don't understand the breakdown of that. So you understand the history and the biblical history of it, and the secular history of it. You don't understand it of it. So you don't believe in the 12 tribe sign. But anyway, this is what Kyle said about the Sewfi from Ghana. All right, how he misread the article about them. So there we go. Right there.
Negatively affected by slave trade and colonization. And that's the thing that we got to address. Yes, there's people in West Africa that claim to be Jews. They are.
Yes, there is. There's all kind of, hold on, brother. There's all kind of tribes that claims to be Hebrew Israelites. We're not going to play no games like that, man. When I get home, I'm going to read your whole list up. What is it? What you said, converse or not? Well, listen, let me get in, man.
Hold on, Jeremiah.
I love cutting my wisdom. Go ahead. I'm going to listen.
All right, see, that's another reason why I don't call the Garfield show, man. You always interrupt, but his guests always interrupt, man. So, get kind of crazy, But, all right, here go right here.
Go ahead. So you do know, though, that even if somebody claims something, that doesn't mean that they are that. You do understand that, right?
Oh, well, let me ask you this. So
to you, Jeremiah. This is
hold on. So who I do my hold on. Let me go in real quick. So what can who I do my read do for us right now? I want you to go ahead and explain that. Go ahead, go.
Perfect. Okay, so and my belief system.
Don't respond to that.
No, I need to know
because
No, because he's so mad at our guy. So I want to know what his No. You gotta explain to okay, well, we ain't gonna go there. Let's leave it alone. Let's leave it alone there.
Are Hebrew Israelites African? Jeremiah, Judah versus Polite versus Pastor Bennett to recap. That's the topics of the day. If you want to talk about Oludamari, I told you, call in on Tuesday and we deal with that one-on-one. All right,
we'll save it for Tuesday then. All right.
I will talk about that. So back to the people that's in Ghana, right? It says the first traces of Judaism in Ghana appeared in 1976 thanks to a Ghanaian man named Yahanon Akafra, whatever how you pronounce that. Yeah. He was a Sewfi student area in Western Ghana, and he said he had a vision and he spoke with the spirits that he was from the lost tribe of Israel. This is the first person in Ghana. Sewfi people, right? That prophet we're talking about, right? Yep. So that's 1976 now. This is another group of people right here. Actually, it's more about the article about the Sewfi people.
All right, there, man. All right, so in the video, he goes to say, made false claims, Rudolph Windsor, everything. Now, Rudolph Windsor book is a good book, but it got some big jewels in it. Some things he went off about the so-called white man being Japhet and everything, man. So, like I said, man, when you do your research and do your study in the scriptures and everything, man, when you study secular history with the scripture. With secular history, you have to, when you're doing your research, you have to basically what we said in GMS Chicago, you have to pick the bones out of the meat. All right, the bones out of the meat, man. All right, man, you have to separate truth and what is true and what is false. All right. All right, so all right, right here it says all right, this is from the Jewish Virtual Library, the Argon. Now, this is a good site, but like I said, you gotta separate the bones out of the meat. All right, so some things they going off of, all right, but it says right here, this is the article. It says about Ghana. All right. It said the first trace of Judaism in Ghana appeared in 1976 thanks to a Ghanaian man named Aaron Ahumdre Torikriafa, living in the community of the Sewfi in Western Ghana. All right. It said Torikriafa had a vision, spoke with the spirit, driving him to believe that he and his fellow Ghanaians were indeed descendants of the lost tribe of Israel. All right, now the first thing, we don't call the laws, we read the laws, statute, commandments of Yahweh. All right, so there's no such thing as Judaism. All right, so this brother just basically, he had a dream that he and his people were the Israelites. So you have a culture, and this connection to it, man. He had a basically reawakening of it. All right. So no such thing. You're not gonna when you read all through the scriptures, all right, you'll find law, statute, commandments. All right. Now you read the Apocrypha is going to say Judaism, but it's not talking about the religion. Basically talking about the doctrine or the ways of the Israelites, all right, from the southern kingdom. All right, so we don't got no religion called Judaism. We don't have no religion called Christianity. All right, you're not going you're not going to find the word Christianity in the scriptures, man. All right, but majority of the time you read the scriptures, all right, you're going to see law, statute, commandments, all right. All right, that Judaism or the Apocrypha, all right, that's just a translation, all right. It's talking about the law, statute, commandments of Israel, all right. But anyway, right here it says, he saw a clear connection, many similarities between his people's practices and those of Judaism. All right, the ways of the all statute commandments of Israel, the laws and the customs. All right, that's what he's saying. All right, so it's not the first trace of the law, statute, commandment, the customs in Ghana, man. All right, so they was already doing it. All right, They doing some things that they kept, all right, that they, you know, cause they could keep the language and everything. Oh, they're just, you know, this Jeremiah chapter 17:4, man. We should lose our heritage, man. All right, so he don't got the 100% like here in America, man. You know, we saying the so-called Negroes. They saying you know, the songs of Zion, man. All right, the Negro spiritual songs. All right, Kumbaya. All right, the other songs, man. All right, they don't the tribe of Judah. All right, so-called Negroes, they don't you know, they don't count their children. I mean, they don't count themselves, you know, on the census records, man. All right, they don't eat blood in their meat, man. Make sure their meat is drained of blood. Make sure it's well done, man. All right, so that's one of things. All right, now you got some Jakes. You know, they been around Esau. They start eating bloody steak and all that stuff. But our people, man, we never, you know, before all that, man, we never did that shit, you know. So we learned it from Esau. But anyway, it says, for example, it's tradition in Sewfi that for Saturday to be a day for rest. All right, so you know that's in the scriptures, man. All right, Deuteronomy 5. All right, and 14. All right, it says, let me see. But the 7th day is the 7th day is the Shabbat day of Yahweh. In it thou shalt do no work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy ox, nor thy ass, nor any cattle, nor thy stranger within thy gates, that thy manservant, thy maidservant may rest as well as thou. All right. So that's in the scriptures, man. All right. So let's see what else they say on here. All right. Let me get this. I had this article before in other videos, man, but you know, Jake's stubborn, so you know, the Most High's way repeat. I should bring out these throughout the scriptures, man. Well, Jake won't forget, but anyway, it's good to get a refresher. You know, it says such a strong tradition that the Sewfi that didn't inherit to it were frankly punished. The Sewfi also followed the Jewish dietary law restricting the consumption of pork. All right, so they was doing the customs basically before coming in contact with the outside world, man. All right, it said Deuteronomy 14. All right here it says Deuteronomy 14:8, it says, and the swine, because it divided the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. All right, so that was another one. All right, so right here it says, let's see what else. All right, it says members of the male community were circumcised in youth. All right, man, after 8 days. All right, now I'm going to the site, another site that gets more into it. All right, it says right here, it's a site, let's see, HebrewEbo.com. All right, it said the Sewfi in Ghana. It said the Sewfi in Ghana, a people approximately about 1,500 who reside in the southwest mountainous region of the country, bordering Uganda, about 400 miles away from Ghana capital Accra, are believed to be Jews from the post-Second Temple era. They have always kept kosher, eating only chicken, sheep, and goats. Okay. They do not eat cattle because they said 400 years ago, Mali, they being Jews, were forbidden to have cattle, and thus eventually forgot how to properly slaughter them according to kosher law. They also circumcised their males on the 8th day. Okay, on the 8th day. All right. So there you go. It says rest and worship on Shabbat. All right, that separate the administrating women. All right, that's in the law. All All right. It said they also celebrate, that's in Leviticus, I said they also celebrate a feast that resembles the Passover. All right, resembles Passover. All right. You know, so these people are the Israelites, man. You know. It says right here, it said, in fact, the Sewfi believed they were the only Jews left on earth. To a Jewish Sewfi man in 1980 traveled to Accra and inquired at the embassy if there were any other Jewish people in the world. Man, he thought they was only Israelites there. By these, he put in touch with Israeli embassy in Sewfi. The Israelis had a working relationship ever since, though the support of the Jewish synagogue in Iowa, the Sewfi Jewish community is now thriving. All right, now you make a mistake going to the Amalekites. Well, all you had to do, man, just go over the scriptures and everything, man. You get, but that's what his mistake was, man. He started dealing with them. All right. So it says, Tuek for a certainty about his ancestry only grew as he traveled to the Ivory Coast and studied the history of population of Sewfi. The Sewfi had traveled south to Ghana, but had come through what is now the Ivory Coast. He convinced that the Jewish community of the Ivory Coast had migrated there from other documented Jewish communities. Right? You had Israelites all over the West Africa, man. All right. So after his trip to the Ivory Coast, Tuek began educating the Sewfi, and they'll go to another one, the Idumbra community about their Jewish heritage. He taught them Jewish practice and tradition, integrated Judaism to their lives, and preaching the study of Judaism to others. They call themselves the House of Israel. All right. Okay. All right, but like I said, he contacted the Israeli embassy, made a mistake doing that. All right, it said the House of Israel was not accepted in the Rimba community neighboring the Sewfi. So Christians violently abused and imprisoned the House of Israel leaders. Most of the Durham members of the House of Israel moved away. Okay.